Celtics lose Game 7, and should we be surprised? They were struggling to take down Philly. They had a 3-1 series lead, right? After losing Game 1, they win 3 straight, and Jason Tatum's not available for Game 7. Tatum, who came back this year, some people think he came back a little too early, and he came back. Celtics are clicking. They're playing well. They're rolling. After early on, Jaylen Brown looked like he was going to be the MVP of the league. But so in the biggest game, there's no Tatum. Brown does what he could do, right? He played 40 minutes, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, but he was a minus 16. Fourth quarter comes, the whole Celtics team, I think they went like 1 for 12 in the last 5 minutes of the game. They just disappeared. Where were they at? They were done. They were exhausted. Brown, 40 minutes. Derek White, 45 minutes. 9 of 26 from the floor. 5 from 16 from downtown. -6 in the plus minus. And not much from the rest of the guys on the roster. Everybody's Game 7. Every person needs to step up and be better. They already had a sample size of playing without Tatum. I don't know what happened. Maybe they got so used to Tatum being back that everyone just fell back to their roles of role player. Peyton Pritchard, who had a heck of a season, and 39 minutes, 13 points, 5 of 13 from the floor. He had 7 assists on no turnovers, but he was a -2. And the thing is that it's one thing to be great in the middle of February in the regular season, but Game 7, playoff mode, you got to step it up. And I think the Celtics core guys exhausted everything that they had. To be honest, this roster is really not that great. I think they exceeded expectations from the others. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that this NBA era is not that great. So for the most part, if you have 2 really top guys, you could sustain a lot of your weaknesses and deficiencies, which the Celtics have many that are easy to hide because you have a Brown and a Tatum with White and decent role players. But the role players on the Celtics are not as great as they appear. And the luxury of these guys playing together for a few years, it makes life a little bit easy. And like I said, this NBA era is dog shit. So, of course, a healthy Tatum and Brown, they are flying to the NBA Finals. If Tatum is healthy, I don't even think Tatum was fully healthy throughout this whole season. I think he came back a little too early, and he played well enough, but we didn't get to really see, or it wasn't really exposed because, like I said, this NBA era is so weak and bad that these guys just being on the court was enough. And now going into a series where they won 3 straight games in a row and then they just blow the series. That tells me there's something else going on internally. Not so much that the Sixers were like this great team, but the Celtics losing the series, choking away the series. And moving forward, they're going to have to decide what to do with that. I don't know what they do. I'm not in the front office. That's up to them. But there's no way they can think they can run this back. They're going to have to definitely find something else to do. Also, the 76ers, who I will say the Sixers' young pieces are better than the Celtics' young pieces. When I say young pieces, I'm talking about the combination of guys like Ty Maxey and Edgecombe, compared to the Celtics, who they got as far as younger pieces like Ron Harper Jr. or even Peyton Pritchard to an extent, but and guys Hugo and all these, Sam Hauser. Those guys are really not as good as Maxey and Edgecombe, okay? Celtics, obviously, Maxey, Edgecombe, outside of like the veteran presence of like Paul George and of course Joel Embiid, who is the equalizer and the piece there, that the engine that moves this train in Philly. And where that combination, it was just a combination of these guys were down 1-3, and they're like, we're not panicking. We're a veteran team, experienced. We feel like we could still win this series. They proved it. They win game one. And Celtics and Sixers have a history of dogfighting in this series, right? I believe the Sixers also beat the Celtics a few years back. So, I mean, no, they didn't. They didn't beat them a few years back, but they beat them before in different in games. They knew they could beat the Celtics. They were confident. Joel Embiid was confident. And it's not going to win. Like I said, you can't win Game 7 where you're shooting. Like, all the core guys shot under 50%. Your top two scorers, right? Brown, even though Brown had 33 points, he was under 50% shooting. Derek White was terrible. He took 26 shots, 16 three-pointers. God, jeez. I mean, what was going on here tonight? And, it's just a shitty way to go out, unfortunately, because the Celtics are a better team at the top. Like I said, a healthy Jason Tatum, the Celtics are breezing to the finals. I don't think Tatum was 100% even throughout the season completely. He came back a little too early. That's my excuse. Now, the experts and all the people out there are going to put their pieces together tomorrow on Monday on First Take, and they'll tell you how the Celtics were this and they were that. But if they don't start with the fact that Tatum probably shouldn't have came back as soon as he did, that's where the conversation needs to start, in my opinion. Now, I can be wrong, but that's just what I believe. So what's next for the Celtics? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.